So, I am Chavez Cyrus from Mexa 3201 and I will be discussing how to make a two-finger end effector for a mechanical manipulator in which I will be using SolidWorks as the application, of course. It is mostly used for physical modeling and let's get into it. So, as you can see here, this is the assembly that I've made from several components integrated into with one another. So, this one, by the end of the video, I hope that you will be able to create something like this too. So let's get into it. First tip, you could use Control Tab when you have different multiple tabs that are open for your SolidWorks application. So as you can see, I'm hovering over different parts. So let's go with part 1. Let's first use MMGS as our unit. Then let's select a plane wherein we would be sketching our first component, which is the base of our component. So first, let's create a reference line or a line, construction line. So let's press escape. Then on the search bar, let's search dynamic mirror entities. Let's make this one as our reference. This one is mostly used so that for components that have symmetrical looks. So you would be able to see what I'm telling you when I do this. So let's try to create something. So first, let's put a line here and then here. As you can see, another line is being created on the other side of the reference line. So that's dynamic mirror entities. It is really convenient for symmetrical sketch for the components. So let's press escape. Let's zoom in, which is just scrolling down your button or scroll button on the mouse. Then next, let's put the values for the smart dimension. This one right here is 22. This one right here is also 22. Then this one right here is 20. This one right here is 30.30. So it's already fully defined when all these lines are black. If it is yellow, that means it is overdefined. And if it is red, that means it is underdefined. Or blue, rather. So next, after that, we will be creating circles. So one right here. Here, and here. Then you could just press Ctrl, select all the circles, then add a relationship with them which is equal, so they would always be equal in diameter. So next, let's press check, let's press dimension, and let's make this 3 in diameter. There you go. And let's just press check. Let's use offset right here, which we need 3.50 millimeters. Same with this one, 3.50 millimeters. Okay, and then smart dimension. This one and this one should have a 7 millimeter gap. Okay, they are equals, of course. This one right here should have 4 millimeters gap. And 4 millimeter gap. This one should have 4.2 and 4. Okay, and then that's 7, that's 3.5. Then we have 13.50. So we would be using 3-point arc. Just select a point where you would be putting your arc with. And then let's select this one and check. So smart dimension. This one should be 13.50. Control Z to undo. Let's first add a relationship here. Let's fix them. Coincident. Oh, it's overdefined because there are too many relations. So first we should delete this. And let's make this one. Yeah, it's already fixed right there. So what we could do is just continue on with a center rectangle right here. And then we need to use trim entities. Next is we create a circle right here with 17 diameters. So 17. We could just use, as you can see here on this radius, 17 divide by 2. Then let's check this one. And we should offset this circle right here with 3.52. 3.50 rather. And then we could use this line. We could just click this right here. And a tip for you to have a curved line is to just go back to the reference. And then wait, rather let's just use that another time. First, let's just use this one here. Use 3.5 because this is much more convenient to use at this situation. So you see there are different situations where you could use different kinds of techniques which should suit what you are currently doing. So for this one, let's use what I've just told you earlier. So there you go, and then you just go back to the line or to the point, and there you can see there's a point that I came back to, and then it became a curved line. So let's press escape, then let's press the trim entities. So we should just trim this one. There you go. And then this one. Wait. And then trim entities. This one and this one. There you go. So then after that we just have to go to the features, extrude boss base. Let's have 3 millimeters, and then select those that you have to extrude. So for this one we have to extrude this one. So let's check this one, and as easy as that, we have already made this one. So what I'm pressing right now is actually spacebar, which is just an easier mode of travel between different point of views. Or you could just use your middle push button or your scroll button to make it like this. So let's go to the top view, then let's go with fillet and click the surface, also the surface, and make sure that you have these parameters, fillet parameters at 0.15 millimeter for this component, and that's our base. Easy as that. So next, Control Tab, let's go to our next component. So again, let's use MMGS, then sketch, select the plane, top plane, and let's create a reference line or center line, and check. Then let's create this one right here, which is just a circle, and then a rectangle. I forgot that we have center rectangle, so this one, this one. So for the smart dimension, we have the diameter of 7, and then for this one we have 3, and then we just have to add a relationship again with this one and this one, and it makes them equal to oh, there's already a relationship here, so we just have to delete relationships. Delete. Delete this tangent here. And then click this and then this and then midpoint. There you go. So we have 3 and then 7 in diameter, and the length should be 31 divided by 2. So that's 15.50. Then next is we just have to trim entities again. And then okay, that's right. Then we just click here and then this should be 3 in diameter, so 3 divided by 2. And check. And then what we have to do right now is just use mirror entities and click the entities to mirror, in which case here you can just use this one. Click the sketch, or if not then just highlight this out. And then mirror about, which is the reference where you would be mirroring. Just click the reference line that you have made and then check. There you go. Then next we have to go to the features, extrude boss base. We have to extrude this for about 3 millimeters. And let's select the surface that we will be extruding. Of course, not including this. And then check. And again, let's go to this view. And then go with fillet. Select the surface. Also the edges. And select 0.15 and check. So now we have this one, another component. So next, to add a new file, just go into the file, then new, then another part, then okay. So next we would be making the pin, which is the easiest part of this. We just have to first use MMGS, go to sketch, go to the front plane, then create a center line. For this one, we won't be using the dynamic mirror entities nor the mirror because there is an easier way of doing this. So next, we have to first make it 9 plus 2, then enter, and then check, and create something like this. And then escape. This one and this one should be equal. And then check. And smart dimension 1. And then next is this one to this one. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.50. Then check. Then just go to the features, of course. Then let's go with sketch. No, features, then revolve boss base. This is the one that we will be using. Then you just have to use this axis of revolution, which is the center line. And then you just select the sketch so that it would be revolved on the center line as its axis. So check. And it's finished. Just have to make again fillet the surface and make it 0.15, then enter and check. There you go. Then next we would have to go with another part. So for now, I will be ending the video and it would be continued. Let's continue with this recording. So for this one, we just have to create, just first you set this unit to mmgs, and then let's create the gear in the rotor. So for this one, we just have to create sketch on the top plane. This should have the diameter of 14.55 and over 2, actually 14.55 over 2, and then check this one. Then we have to have a center, which is 3 divided by 2, of course, which is 1.15, and check. And then next we have to just go to the features and extrude boss base for 3 millimeters. Check. So as you can see, normal gears should have a different kind of teeth, and for those we have to actually solve some problems or equate some solutions for how many gear to gear, or should I say how many teeth to teeth of a gear ratio there should be. But we didn't try to do that, but I would be giving you as an example of how to actually do that. So let's first try to edit this sketch. All you have to do actually for those is just have a drawing like this. Escape. Go to the top plane, sketch. You could actually just make something like this with linear sketch pattern, circular sketch pattern, and then click the parameters wherein your sketch would be revolving with, or the axis. Then we selected this point, of course. Then we just have to make it, for example, 24 ticks. And then entities to pattern, we just have to select all of this. There, that's how you make a gear actually. Then if you revolve that, of course, it will look like, wait, let's rebuild this one. And okay, if you try to rebuild this one, edit, sketch, it should look like there's rebuild errors. We shouldn't have extruded it earlier. So what we could do is Ctrl J. Let's not extrude it right now. Let's just first create this one, just for the sake of demonstration, of course. So there, and then we just have to click check. So there. For example, this is a teeth of a gear. So what you could do is just go to the linear sketch pattern, circular sketch pattern, select the parameter by the reference point wherein your sketch would be rotating with as its axis, and then select the sketches that would be rotating. Let's make this, for example, you have 24 teeth for a gear, and there you have it. Let's just check this one, go to the features, extrude boss base, and everything should be extruded. Let's just go with Ctrl A and then select this region. And press enter or escape. There you have it. I just forgot to select this one, that's why the teeth is missing one teeth, but of course you could just always edit it with the edit feature, so you just have to select this one too. And the sketch region. Then again press check. So that's how you make a gear, but of course we won't be using this one because as I've said earlier, you have to make a solution for this one when you are trying to make gear to gear for their teeth. So let's just press Ctrl Z. I've just demonstrated so that you would know how to actually make it in case you would have to do it. So for this one, we just have to extrude this alone. So let's just check. Go to the feature, extrude boss base, then again 3 millimeters. Let's deselect this one because this one should not be extruded, it should be cut. There you go. Then let's go to this one. Let's go to sketch, go to the right plane. Let's just click the right plane here, or the front plane rather. Go to the front plane and then make a midpoint line, rather a reference line for construction, which is the center line. And next, to press escape, we just make this one here, go to the midpoint or to the midsection, make this one at least 1, then check, and then we go with sketch again using rather before we actually did this, we should have, let's first delete this one, discard and change exit. Let's first create an offset right here with reverse and 3 millimeters. Rather, let's make 1 millimeter. Then check. And then another offset from this one with reverse again. And let's make this 3 millimeters. Then let's check this one. Let's go to the features again. And then let's rebuild and edit this feature so that we could exclude this part. And okay, so this is what it would be looking like. There you go. Then now we go to the front plane. Then again sketch, select the front plane, create a circle on the middle point which should have 2 diameter, and check. And then you could just feature extrude boss base, and instead of blind we use the up to surface so that it would flush just right into this surface. So you can see there is no gap right here, it is flushed completely. And then next we have to go to the linear pattern, then select circular, then select this one, and the direction should be this circle right here, and the feature surfaces that will be extruded is this one, so boss extruded 4, and then just press check, and then we just have again to create a circle just right here, and then check, go to the feature, extrude cut, and then through all, of course, then check, voila. And then next you just have to go to the fillet again, and then click the surface and make them 0.50. Check, go here, and that's the rotor wheel that we would be having for the demonstration of the movement of our end effector, or the claws of our end effector. So the next we have to make another part, which is the teeth of our end effector. So the teeth of our end effector, first let's go with MMGS, then sketch, go to the top plane, use this shape here, and check smart dimension. This one should be 10 in diameter, and this one should be 22 in length. And then let's create circles right here, which should be equal to one another. And then let's check smart dimension. This should be 3 in diameter. And then we will be creating using a 3-point center rectangle. So first we click this. Oh, we should have not used the center one. Let's use 3-point corner rectangle. Okay, so this one should have .34 in length, and let's make this a for construction, or just a reference rather. Then we make this. So next we have to go to dimensions. This one right here should be 14.24. This one right here should be 136. This one should be 10. 157.65. 157.65. 4.15. 4.15. 4.50. So what's wrong right here is that it shouldn't have been fixed right here. This should be 34, 4.15, 7.65 should be 22, should be 3, should be 31, 14.24, 136, and 10, of course. So let's make this parallel to one another. Then check. And you just have to click here. Then go right here. Then we go trim entities. Okay. Then next is we have to create this one, which is the tip. So for this one, we just have 0.63 for the length of the fangs. So smart dimensions 0.63, then enter. And then should be 2 in diameter. And then this and this should be equal. Then check. Then we go to the linear sketch pattern. We click this line as our direction, and then we have this entities to pattern, which is this one and this one. We just have to reverse it, the direction, and then we make it by 5 teeth, and we make it by 2 millimeters, and then we have to check. There we go. Then we just have to trim entities again. And check. And then extrude trim entities. Then check pictures. Extrude boss base. Select this one. Right here. We go with blind 3 millimeters. And let's deselect those that we would have to cut off, and check. Then go with fillet, then select the surface, and then also these corners right here. Then we go with 0.15, then enter. We press check, space bar, isometric view, and that's the tip of our end effector. So next is the final one, which we would have to create. So new part, okay, MMGS. So for this one, it just look like a key. So let's go to the top plane, and then let's create a circle. Let's create a circle right here with a diameter of 27, which means, of course, it's 7/2, which should have this one right here, and should be 31 in length, of course, Control A, 31, and should be 8 in diameter, and then we just have to create a circle right here, which should be 3 in diameter. So check, trim entities, okay. Then let's go with features, extrude boss base, and then let's make it just 3 mm. Oh, I forgot to put a hole right here. Well, you could just edit this sketch, put a 3 mm hole over to check, and then just go with your build, and there you go. And again, fillet, I almost forgot, with 0.50, and check isometric view. This is what it looks like. That's equals. Then next is the final part. So this one is actually not the final part, rather, because they have different sizes. So for this final part, we have to just control tab, part 6, part 6, control A, control C. Oh, it can't be copied. Then let's just go to the sketch. This one I hope we can copy. Yes, we can copy this. Then press escape, control tab to hover. Let's go to our part 7, and then let's use MMGS. Let's go to the top plane and sketch and control V. There you go. So that's the easy way of actually creating these kinds of things. So we just have to make this one, instead of 13.50 millimeters, just have to make it 27.30. 27.30. So this one is 3 in diameter, 3 in diameter, 8.7, 8 in diameter. Oh, so there's something wrong. We've actually made this one in MMGS. It's right, it's correct. So maybe that's the problem with copy paste. It sometimes won't give you the exact same. Yes, it doesn't give you the exact same values for the dimensions. So all we have to do is just repeat it, because it's just easy anyways. So Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So let's just go with the top plane, and then just create a circle right here with a value of 27.30. Then another one of this, which should have 8 in diameter and 31 in length. 8, 31. And check. Over to, and then check. Let's zoom in, and then let's create a circle right here. It should be equal. Make dimension, it should be 3, and then remove this. Okay, then we just have to go to the features, extrude that boss base, 3 millimeter, and enter. or escape. And then fillet. For 0.50. I think I did not select this one right here. I forgot to select this one. There you go. Let's go to this one. Let's start here where this is. So for this, I think I did not select this corner right here. Okay, so isometric. Control tab. Isometric. So then next we will be creating the assembly. So for this one, we'll just be using this part right. Okay, so now this is the last part of our video in which I will be making the assembly. So this is the base that we have made earlier. As you can see, I have already changed its appearance through this one, edit appearance. I used the texture of a high gloss, then red high gloss plastic, then just pick a color from here, the color palette, and then just press check or enter. So let's go to the isometric perspective. You can also change its material through this one here, right click, edit material. Usually, the materials that are used for mechanical manipulators used for demo are plastic. So for this one, let's try to use this plastic here. Let's use this just for example. So let's try to use acrylic because this one is transparent, so you'd be able to see that the materials actually did change. So apply, then close. As you can see, it has changed. Then go to the evaluate tab. The mask properties, you can see its mask that has changed as you can do different materials for this one. So it is really important for you to know this because it is important in the industry as many companies would specify you to make different components using different materials as their properties. So let's Ctrl Z because I don't really need to use it right now. I just used it so I could demonstrate how it is being used. So let's go to the assembly. So let's make a assembly from this part right here, as this one would be our base, of course. So let's click this part and let's make it a graphics preview. So it would be showing here. Let's make the axis different by clicking this side right here. There you go. Then there are different ways you can insert a component right here, right? So one way is to search in the commands insert components, wherein you could browse for different components as long as you have saved them. So it is important that you save your components after you have made them because they won't be exported if you haven't saved them, and you won't be able to use them on the assembly. And another way is to click on your file explorer, then go onto your desktop, and wherever you are putting your exports. So for me, it is on my SolidWorks exports. And for example, let's try to get this finger 1 and 2. So as you can see, it is hiding frequently. You could pin this tab here, so it won't hide for every components that you are going to get. So we need 2 fingers. We need the gear 1, which we already have, so we need the gear 2. As you can see, their appearance are also changed already. So we need at least 6 locks for elbow. 6 locks for elbows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And of course the driver gear. And then the pins. We need at least 9 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So all of the components here are floating, but this one is fixed because As I've said earlier, the reason is that all of these components will be mated with this base right here, and it should not be moving along with the components that are floating, because then it will go everywhere on your screen, right? So let's now try to make this one with this cylinder here. Let's make it concentric with this hole right here. So let's go with mate. As you can see, it's already mated concentrically. Then this surface should be coincident with this surface, so it should be able to move like this. Now this one and this one, then press enter instead of checking so frequently. Then this one and this one, okay, then check, and it should be able to move right here. So the way I am panning my screen like this is just hold your control and then your middle push button on your mouse at the same time. So next, we have to mate this and this one. So press enter, and this one with the surface of this one, and enter. So now we can move this like this. Then we have to make this one and this one right here, enter. Then the surface should be coincident with this one right here, check. Make sure this is concentric with this one. This one should be coincident with this one, surface of this elbow. And then next we have to make this concentric with this one. So check, and then make this surface right here coincident with the surface right here. Then check. That should be tangent with each other, the driver and the driven gears. So next we have to use one of these gear selections, the cylinder, make it concentric with this one right here, then check, and the surface of this one with this one, check, and this one with this one. As you can see, my SolidWorks is lagging. It is lagging. First make this coincident, delete your selections, then this one and this one should be coincident. Then the surface of this one with the surface of this one, and now this one with this one should be concentric. There you go. Then next we would have to use another one of these and make it concentric with this one right here. Let's just press enter, and this right here should be concentric with this one right here, check, they overlapped with one another. So I think it's best that we first make the surface of this one and this one so that it won't overlap before we make this mate with this one. There we go. Then just press spacebar, go to your isometric view so you won't make mistakes. Then check. You should first rotate this one. So to rotate that, you just have to click for the component itself and then use this right here. And there you go. Next, you would just have to click again this one and make it concentric with this one. So make them there you go. Then press enter and make this surface with this surface and make them coincident. Then press enter again. Then meet this one right here with this one. Check. The surface of this one with this one should be coincident. Check. And this one should be concentric with this one. Check. Let's first remove this relation right here. So here you can see the mates that we have made. So let's delete this coincidence right here. And then this one right here. And let's fix this. There you go. Now we could mate them again with one another. So the surface of this one should go with the surface of this one. And check. And this one. And this one. There you go. Check. As you can see, they are already coincident with each surface. So press space bar, isometric view, and then let's add this out. You should be concentric with this one right here. So check. This should be the surface of this elbow should be coincident with the surface or the bottom surface of this base, and this hole should be concentric with this hole at the base. Then check. Then the last elbow should be going right at this corner here. So check. And then let's get this down so it would be easier for us to make them. So this part here and part right here. Rather, it should actually be this one. So let's undo. Click this part, and then this part right here, and check, and make this one surface coincident with the surface, and enter. So let's get out of this meat because it's causing lag so much. So isometric, as you can see, the parts are moving along really well. Okay, so now we just have to put the pin. So let's go and meet again. Concentric, enter. This one, and this one, enter. As you can see, I'm just mating all of the pins out right here. We need 2 more pins. Mate. There you go. Now we just have to select the surface. Of this right here. The reason why I am toggling all of the pins out is because so that I could select their bottom surface much easier. this one, click this one, and this one, click this one, check. There you go. Oh, wait. There's still one more component. That's not flashed perfectly. There you go. Enter. Then go to the isometric view. Now we are going to have an interaction between this rotor and this gear right here. So I've already explained why this one right here does not look like a spar gear from the recent clips of videos. So we just have to go here to the mechanical matings, then click the gear, make sure it is in reverse, then check, because the way that it would be rotating should be reversing this one right here. Then this one and this one should be gear mated, not in reverse, because they should be moving along in the same direction. So now we just have to click check, I said, then press isometric, and if you move this, as you can see, it is perfectly fine and moving right now. So that's the end of the end effector, two finger end effector for a mechanical manipulator video, and I hope that you have learned something from this. So that's all. Thank you again. This is my project for SolidWorks or CAD/CAM CNC. So let's end the record. Thank you.